The National Union of Metalworkers of South Africa has reached a settlement with the business rescue practitioners at Comair over the staff medical aid contributions. This comes after the airline told employees that it will no longer be making contributions for the 1st of September. The airline has agreed to reinstate the medical aid effective immediately. Joined now by Numsa spokesperson Phakamile Hlubi-Majola to discuss this further. Phakamile, good evening and thank you very much for your time tonight. Now, 3 days ago, you issued a statement to say it's actually a disgrace that Comair will be talking about withdrawing medical aid during a global COVID-19 pandemic. They have no empathy at all for the workers and their family. They've since, of course, acquiesced to your request.
Yes, they have, Thabo, and we really appreciate the fact that they saw the light and they came to the party and realized that what they were doing was completely unfair to employees. The reason our application had been urgent in the first place was because on the 26th of August, Comair and the BRPs had committed to employees that they would continue with the medical aid. And then on the 31st of August, they did an about turn and suddenly told employees that as of the 1st of September, they would not cover that medical aid and workers must be prepared to take the burden in full. So it was because of that we applied for an urgent interdict. So because of the fact that we were able to find each other on the issue of medical aid, we then took a decision to withdraw the court action. However, tomorrow we'll be meeting with the employer to discuss the issue of salaries and the payment of outstanding salaries.
Yeah, part of the interdict as well, you are raising issues around a clause in the business rescue plan that allows for the business rescue practitioners to increase their salaries, while they are saying workers would need to forego their salaries until, what, the 1st of December?
Yes, so what we were saying is that we felt it was unfair that the BRPs could tell employees that there's no money, that they could actually plead poverty when there is a clause in the business rescue plan that basically speaks to employees waiving their rights to an income until the end of November. So and the problem we have is that first and foremost, that's not something that was consulted with us. And that is a change in the terms and conditions of employment. And it's not something that you can just unilaterally decide on or propose in a business rescue plan. So Comair has to consult us on this. Because otherwise, as things stand right now, that business rescue plan that they have proposed is not one that they consulted us on.
Now, workers have been existing on the TERS, or the Temporary Employment Relief Scheme payments. Have they been reaching workers and are they all getting that amount of money?
The TERS payment is a payment which workers have been depending on since the 1st of June, which is around the time when the BRPs also stopped paying salaries to employees at Comair. Now, whilst they have been getting the payments every month, the problem with TERS is that it's not a full salary. So you're talking here about workers who on average are earning about perhaps 12 or 14,000, if I'm estimating correctly, who now have, since June, been earning about 4,000 a month. Many of them are in deep, deep financial distress. Some have lost houses, some have lost cars, struggling to pay off basic debts. I mean, it's extremely, extremely stressful for our members right now. So we think that the decision taken by Comair not to pay salaries is completely unfair. We are not convinced that they are unable to afford to pay salaries. They're able to pay the salaries of the BRPs, and the fact that during this business rescue process, Comair actually purchased a company, which shows it makes us doubt whether in fact they are truly in financial distress as they claim to be in.
Now, tomorrow you're going into that meeting then with the Comair's BRPs. What are you putting on the table as your demands?
We've been very clear that we want to resolve the issue of the non-payment of salaries. We're hoping that they'll engage us meaningfully in trying to find a solution to this. we would prefer not to have to go to court. So even though we've said that we have withdrawn our application, if this process does not live up to our expectations, we will not force our rights